All right, welcome back. They have been growing like crazy. The city of McKinney has big plans now to expand its airport. This is despite voters rejecting a proposal for a new terminal just last year. It is one of the area's busiest airports for private and corporate flights, though. Ayush Gupta is a reporter with the Dallas Business Journal and joins us to talk more about how the airport is moving forward. Thanks for being with us, Ayush.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
So I read your article today about this. It's a fascinating read because, you know, we're getting into growing pains here. Anybody who's been here in North Texas for any period of time knows that the McKinney area has just been exploding.
Absolutely.
And there is demand, perhaps, for an expanded airport there. Like it wouldn't be as big as what we see at Love Field and certainly not DFW. No. But definitely an expansion from what's there now.
Absolutely. Well, as of now, the McKinney National Airport is, as you mentioned, looking to expand its services from general aviation to commercial service. That expansion will include a new airport terminal, a new aircraft apron, as well as additional parking spaces, and it will happen on the east side of the airport. Now, as of now, the airport has allocated around $5 million towards designing this project. Now, as you mentioned earlier, voters did reject that bond proposal last year.
That was for a new terminal, right?
That was to fund the project.
Okay.
Unfortunately, voters did not have a say as to whether the project will or will not happen. With the airport getting federal grants, there are some obligations that the airport has to adhere to. But Airport Director Ken Carley did say there are about $65 billion worth of projects under the design phase right now. The airport is looking to secure funding for those projects through Federal Aviation Administration grants, as well as possibly grants from the City of McKinney's Community Development, as well as Economic Development Corporation.
So what sorts of developments are we expected to see there at the airport? And again, this is on the east side of the airport because McKinney is in this great situation of being a really fast-growing community, but there's all of that land right next to the airport that's not developed yet.
There is. All that land will hopefully be used for a new terminal. Now, unfortunately, it is unclear as to what airlines will be using that terminal for their services. I can tell you that it will not be those large commercial services that we are probably all accustomed to, like the Southwest and the American Airlines. It will probably be a smaller airliner, generally with discounted fares.
I see. So right now, though, you see a lot of corporate travel out of there. You see a lot of private jets. Makes a lot of sense when you start thinking about where a lot of the development business-wise has moved in these past several years. You've got a lot of it up there in that Frisco area, Plano, McKinney. Absolutely. Certainly. And so you see a lot of those huge companies using this airport quite Absolutely. A bit. An expansion there to more passenger traffic would take care of more of this population that we've seen growing there in that same area and further north.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, a lot of Dallas residents are accustomed, I feel like, to long commutes. So maybe Love Field or DFW may not seem too far, but this expansion is expected to reduce those long commutes and provide a service for residents in Collin County and in North Texas to have a closer airport to their home rather than having to sit in these traffic jams that we all have to on a daily basis.
Speaking of traffic jams, though, you can see those even in McKinney, which used to be this small town and didn't have as much of that. And I guess that is at least some of the concern of people who don't want to see big expansions there at the airport. They don't want, to basically be sitting in traffic there.
Absolutely. Traffic is probably one of the main concerns surrounding this expansion. Another concern is noise. I feel like a lot of people move to North Texas and Collin County to get away from LAX or maybe these larger airports that provide a lot of jets overhead that provide a lot of noise. So that is another concern. However, the airport is working on an environmental assessment report at this moment to help address some of these concerns. That report will feature a public comment segment where residents can further express any opinions they may have. So if you are someone who is worried about how this project will impact your local community, that is definitely something to check out.
It is one of those interesting cases, though, of people moving sort of out into the country, so to speak, and then the city sort of grows out that way and finds them. And we're seeing those growing pains there in McKinney. It's going to be interesting to stick a pin in this one and keep watching what happens with that airport, though.
Oh, I look forward to doing so, and hopefully one day we can all take a flight out of McKinney.
Yeah, it sounds like it's becoming more of a possibility.
Absolutely.
Ayush Gupta with the Dallas Business Journal. You can check out this story, by the way, at their website right now. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.